All right, everyone, going to be getting into my favorite bets here for the Sanderson Farms Championship. As most of you guys know, my strategy for the week when making outright bets is to bet the top 5% in the field, which this week I'm doing about 7 golfers as outright bets, 1 long shot bet. This strategy has led me to be able to hit, and hopefully you guys as well, 10 outright bets on the season. We're over 100 units on the season as well. Hopefully you guys have been able to take advantage of that. If not, you should probably watch this video. All right, let's get into it. All right, so jumping into my first favorite outright bet of the week, that's going to be Patrick Fishburn. Now, Fishburn has been someone that, if you guys have followed this channel, you know I've been on a decent amount recently. Did less down at the Wyndham Championship, finishing 66th at that event, but since then, he had a third place finish at the Pro Core Championship. Really good result at the 3M Open, finishing 6th. Barracuda Championship 3rd. Patrick Fishburn is also someone that's ranking out really well as a good stat fit. So the key stats that we're looking at this week: birdie to bogey ratio, total driving, ball striking, and greens gained. He ranks top 15 or better in all of those except for greens gained, where he ranks like 66 in the field. So that's a bit of a concern for him. Another slight concern would be the fact that he doesn't have any course experience here. Not going to fault him too much because he is in such strong form. Relatively speaking, missed the cut on the number, I know. Really good specialist. Specialist data, again, for those that might not be aware, is looking at the unique characteristics for that week's tournament: course designer, greens, style of course, all that's nuanced stuff. Put into one data point, second best in the field as a specialist. So love the fact that we can get him at 33-1 odds. That is pretty good. So my next favorite core play is going to be someone that kind of falls into that same category as Patrick Fishburn, someone that has been playing great golf recently. Well, relatively speaking, we see his form: 31st, 11th, miscut, 29th, 10th, 12th, 75th, a little bit too hit or miss. Also, someone that doesn't have any course experience here over the last 4 years. A little bit of a concern there, but Chan Kim, do like the odds that we can get on him, 40-1 on FanDuel. Love that there. Key stat-wise, there's not going to be any concern with him as a play this week. He's the 3rd best in the field in birdie to bogey ratio this week. That's actually one of the most key stats for this week's tournament, as well as total driving and ball striking, where he ranks 31st in total driving and 10th in ball striking. So really solid play there. 6th best specialist. The one concern that we have with him and really everyone in this field is going to be that we haven't seen much of these golfers recently, especially competitively. The more time off these golfers have from playing competitive golf, the higher the variance is, the more random their results are. It kind of makes sense, right? If you ever played golf yourself, that might happen. Now, for me personally, that's not what happens. Typically speaking, my best rounds are after I haven't played in a while, but I guess you give me 2 more rounds after that, it's not going to be that pretty, for whatever reason. But we do see that happen, just more variance with more time off. Makes sense. So the next outright bet that I'll be on is going to be Ben Griffin. Ben Griffin's another player that ranks out really well with the specialist data, ranking out 5th best in the field. You look at his form, it has been a little bit hit or miss. That's going to be the nature of the beast this week. Everyone's going to have some spotty finishes here and there, or something that we don't like about them. With Ben Griffin, I would argue it's the fact that we haven't seen him during the fall swing. We last saw him at the FedEx St. Jude Championship, where he didn't have the best finish, but prior to that, the week prior to that, he had a 6th place finish. We do see 2 top 10 finishes mixed in with him over his past 6 starts, which I like to see. The slight different thing from Ben Griffin compared to the first 2 players that I mentioned is that he does have course experience, and that course experience is tremendous. 2nd place finish here last year, then a 24th and 14th place finish. So that is huge for him. Now, a concern about him as a play is that he's not the best stat fit in the field. Birdie to bogey ratio is bad, total driving's bad, but he's not a bad ball striker or bad in greens gained. Ranks about 30th in the field in those. So don't love it. It's not lock and load, but at the same time, we are getting decent odds on him. You can get about 30-1 on most sites there. My next favorite outright bet after that is going to be Justin Lauer. He is someone that just across the board is a solid option for us. We can see course history-wise, has made the cut at this tournament 2 out of his last 3 tries here over the last 4 years. Yes, not a good thing that his most recent start here was a miscut. We can maybe ignore that a little bit. He's also not going to be the best stat fit. That's a little bit concerning. Only the 30th best stat fit in the field. He's going to be a decent specialist as well. But the thing with Justin Lauer is he's been giving us some consistent results. And I love the fact that he is coming in off of a really good finish at the Pro Core Championship where he was able to finish top 10. He's one of those golfers that it's kind of like you keep putting yourself in a good spot, in a spot to succeed. Eventually you're going to come through. That is kind of the case with Justin Lauer, where he's just a good enough play across the board that maybe things come together for him. Now, maybe you don't like him as an outright bet. You can get him at 75-1 on BetOnline, but we are seeing some big number differences for him on some sites. FanDuel is 70-1, BetMGM is 55-1. That tells us that we are gaining a decent edge on him on some of those sites. That is telling me that we do have some upside here. And maybe instead of betting him to win outright, you could bet him to top 10. You can get him at 6-1 to do that on FanDuel. I feel pretty good about that. And then we go ahead and get into a play like Patrick Rogers. Patrick Rogers kind of falls under the umbrella of Justin Lauer, maybe potentially a little bit better because his form has been extremely consistent. The issue with Patrick Rogers has literally been the lack of upside. His most recent good finish was the Barracuda Championship where he finished 5th. We go back further, that's literally his best finish, is that top 5 finish. So he is kind of more of a safe play, but at the same time, given a tournament in which we're going to experience a lot of golfers having a lot of time off, maybe someone that's been extremely consistent like Patrick Rogers, maybe that leads to him just find himself in contention and then eventually winning. We can get him at 33-1 on most sites, feel pretty good about that. Again, he's not going to be someone that you're in awe of as a play, but the more you look at him, the more you like him, especially compared to everyone else in the field, because he's probably the closest thing that we have to someone checking all the boxes. 2 for 2 in made cuts here over the past 4 years. Not the best stat fit, but still ranks out 32nd in the field. 7th best in recent form. 3rd best specialist. 22nd in course history rank. That is just good enough across the board. And then my next favorite outright bet is going to be Seamus Power. Power is someone that I don't exactly love the odds on, 25-1, but that's kind of the nice part about this week is that a player where I don't like the odds on him, we're getting him at 25-1 for a guy that ranks out extremely well. I'm okay with that. Power is someone that is coming in some of the best form in the field as well. 3rd best form in the field. Look at his recent starts, 26th, 10th, 27th, 27th, just a bunch of good finishes. He's someone that does have course experience here as well. A made cut and miscut, relatively good stat fit, and he's someone that does have a little bit of winning pedigree. If he finds himself into contention, I have more faith in him to be able to convert to victory than maybe some of the other players that we have mentioned already. But he's someone that is standing out to me. Now, Rico Hoey is someone that I've been on a decent amount as well recently, and I'm just not going to quit it just yet, okay? So we saw, form-wise, it's been great, guys. Over his past 7 starts, going back from the latest to the most recent, so 6th, 26th, 2nd, 8th, 67th at the 3M Open, didn't love that, but then a 21st and a 36th place finish. So he has been playing some good golf. 2nd best form in the field, 9th best staff in the field. Again, the concern with him, as is Patrick Fishburn, Chan Kim, no course history here over the past 4 years. Maybe that's a difference come Sunday if they find themselves in contention. But I love getting him at 50-1, BetOnline 55-1. Just a very good number for a guy that's been playing great golf from what we have seen. And then we jump into Mackenzie Hughes. Okay, Mackenzie Hughes, a former winner at this event. He is someone that is playing some pretty good golf recently, the best specialist in the field as well. The biggest concern is that terrible stat fit. But if we dial it in a little bit, total driving, 95th in the field, but over his past 5, 39th in the field. Ball striking, 96th in the field, but over his past 5 starts, 40th. Birdie or better percentage, 48th in the field, but over his past 5, 10th in the field. So he has been playing better golf, as we can tell by this recent form. 2 top 10 finishes mixed in there, a top 16 place finish. So overall, I really do like Mackenzie Hughes as an outright bet. And again, the nice part about this week is that we can get an outright bet like Mackenzie Hughes at 25-1 and feel pretty good about that. But that's going to be all for today's video, guys. Make sure to give a like and subscribe to the channel. If you guys want access to some of the fantasy golf tools that are available at 95sports.com, head on over to 95sports.com, get access to them for just $10 a month. All right, thanks for watching. Good luck. And as always, let's keep cashing.